All right, everybody, welcome back to my channel. We're going to be live streaming some MLB baseball. Now, not illegally, I'm not going to be showing live baseball, but I'm going to be doing a whip around type style here tonight, at least for the next hour. So right now, we're going to be doing, all right, everybody, welcome back to my channel. We're going to be live streaming of Major League Baseball action that's happening tonight. I'll be doing, answering any questions you guys have. I know I'm a new creator here, and I try to go live as often as I can, as often as life allows me. So tonight we're going to go live, uh, whipping around the action um, today on August 20th. I will let you know right now. I am watching the Royals and Rangers on my big TV, and then I have the Mets and Nationals on my small TV. So, get ready to watch some live commentary of me. I have some pretty good knowledge of baseball. A little bit of background about me: I'm a journalism major. My profession is in public relations, but I have worked in journalism for about 10 years now. So I know how to talk to you guys. If anybody wants to reach out to me, I'll try not to stay on one subject too long. I'll have this coverage, just from a regular average Joe kind of guy coverage, but try to put my own spin on it, my own flavor, my own knowledge. Not going to try to bore you guys here. So let's start with some standings. Some games are already over today, right? Let's look at those results. The Mariners got swept in Philadelphia by the Phillies, lost 11-2 in a rainy game. The Tigers swept the Astros. 7-2 was the final today. And then the Diamondbacks took 2 out of 3 from the Guardians, winning on a walk-off by Adrian Del Castillo. Let's look at the games right now on the scoreboard live. Have the Marlins and Cardinals 5-2. Miami looking to avoid the sweep. Cardinals trying to get back to 500 and stay alive in the National League wildcard race. But the reason why I have the Mets and Nationals on one of my two screens is because the Mets have free fallen into the third wild card, and they're at risk. They're 6 outs away from dropping to just, and this is why we need the standings. They lose tonight, which their result should happen right around the time or right before the Reds play the Angels in Los Angeles. They will be just a half game ahead of the Reds. As you look at the National League wild card, Cardinals again trying to get to 500 and get to as close as 4 games behind the Mets, but they're losing right now to the Marlins. So that National League wildcard race is heating up, specifically between the Mets and Reds for that third wild card. Padres and Cubs are pretty comfortable in the 1 and 2 spots. The same could not be said, though, in the American League, where it's bunched up 1 through 3, especially with the Mariners losing 5 in a row. The Red Sox have lost 3 in a row. And let's take a look at how the Red Sox are doing tonight against the Baltimore Orioles. Guess what? There's my first mistake. They're not playing the Orioles. This is a 2-game series. That's right. Those weird 2-game series, right? Don't happen very often. They've been happening lately, maybe the last few years, I think, since divisional teams have played less games, and there's been interleague between all teams now. So the Red Sox do not play tonight. They're idle. They will start a series against the Yankees tomorrow. Speaking of the Yankees and Red Sox, just a game separates these two teams. The Yankees being the number 1 wild card. They are 6.5 games behind the Blue Jays for the American League East. But the team I'm watching right now and where I live, the Kansas City Royals, are 2 games behind the Mariners, only 2.5 behind the Red Sox, and 3.5 behind the Yankees. So the American League is a lot more bunched up right now. And 5 teams for 3 spots. Legitimately, the Royals can pretty much bury the Rangers with a couple more wins these next 2 games, which sweeping a team in 4 games is a tall task, but the Royals look like they're capable of doing it. Right now it's 3-2 in the 4th inning, top of the 4th. Jonah Heim is being checked on after he fouled the ball off his left shin. The switch hitter is batting right-handed. Noah Cameron, one of the best rookies in baseball, especially the American League so far this season, is on the mound for the Royals. Hot humid night in Kansas City. I was at the game last night at Kauffman Stadium, and the Royals took the win. I was there. Bobby Witt hit his 100th career home run. So I'll keep tabs on all these games. Braves and White Sox. That's probably the most dead game of all of these. Braves, White Sox, and A's Twins are two games that have pretty much no playoff implications. Every other game has at least some sort of, even the Marlins and Cardinals. Cardinals are on the outside looking in. Jonah Heim just grounded out to third, so we got 2 outs in the top of the 4th for the Royals and Rangers. Rangers up to bat there. One start to keep an eye on right now, and we're going to go to the game day for that one. It is not a game I'm currently watching. As I said, I'm watching the Mets and Nationals on one screen, Royals and Rangers on the other. But the Cubs and Brewers, this race has gotten out of hand in the American National League Central. But the Cubs have won the first 2 games of the series. They won a doubleheader yesterday. And actually, they've won the first 3 games of the series. Or do I stand corrected? I believe, yes, they've won the first. No, they've won the first 2 games of the series. And it wasn't a doubleheader yesterday. God, it's in a weird weather. Gosh, it's been a weird weather weekend or week, start to the week for the Brewers and Cubs. Let's look at real quick. Yeah, here we go. So it's a 5-game series because there was a makeup from a game on June 18th, and then there was another makeup yesterday for the game on Monday because they got one in. They're trying to get a doubleheader in on Monday. They had to move that doubleheader to yesterday. The Cubs won both of those games. Brewers won the first game on Monday. They were rolling. And right now, they're winning 1-0. Jacob Mizorowski is on the mound. Second start since returning from the injured list. And let's go back to that game day. Right now, the bases are loaded for Michael Busch. We've got a mound visit in play, and I will keep an eye on this game now. I'm switching this one over from Mets Nationals since the bases are loaded for the Cubs. And I'll give you guys a live play-by-play as you look at it on game day here. Mizorowski's not gotten an out yet here, and he throws a curveball outside to Busch. Looks like he's dancing around. Just got through a tough 10-pitch at-bat here. 11-pitch at-bat where he missed on that 11th pitch way inside to Shaw to load the bases for the Cubs. So he's on the ropes. They have him on the ropes at Wrigley, the star rookie for the Brewers. So the second pitch is put in play. No, it's not actually. It's a curveball outside. I'm trying to keep track. You see my mouse over here on the left side because this feed is a little bit ahead of what I'm seeing on my other screen as I'm watching the game live. So bear with me. We are going to watch this one before I change tabs. So now it's 3-0. Mizorowski missed with 99, not even close. This is one of those moments where you're like, okay, this is a rookie, backs against a wall, division rival. Can he pump one over the middle? And he does with that strike right down the middle. As you can't blame Michael Busch for not swinging at that. That's something you can't swing at. Given Mizorowski, you don't want to bail him out. There's no outs. Let's not forget. And he's mouthing to the catcher. I think he can't hear Contreras on the pitch comm. So that's another thing. And this ball split in the gap opposite field. Busch lines it to the Busch at Wrigley, and the left fielder Collins decides to pick it up. I don't think that would have been a ground rule double, and it's a bases clearing double for the Cubs. 101.7 mile an hour double for Michael Busch, clears the bases, and Jacob Mizorowski, the rookie, pays dearly for walking the bases loaded. So the Cubs feeling a little life. You know, Kyle Tucker getting a few days off, and it's bolstered this Cubs lineup. You know, your best player, you know, arguably him and Pete Crow Armstrong have been their best players this season. But your prized possession, one of your prized possessions, has struggled all of August. He gets a couple days off, and look what happens. The bottom of the order. Mizorowski's going to hurt Mizorowski more than anything is he goes 6 up, 6 down the first 2 innings, and then he walks 3 straight guys and a ball in the gap. You're down 3-1. So this is going to be a lesson game for him for sure. As now Mears is warming up at the bullpen for the Brewers. Ian Happ on a 0-1 count. Rolls over, does get the runner over though. So 1 out, runner on third. This is where good teams, playoff teams like the Cubs, find a way to get that other run in and make it 4-1. Seiya Suzuki, he made a loud out his first time up. Takes a fastball or a slider up and in. You see 93.8, and most of the time you think it's a fastball, but that one was not. So yeah, Mizorowski definitely going to be kicking himself after walking the bases loaded, being perfect through 2, walks the bases loaded, and then now it's 3-1, and Seiya Suzuki could definitely make it 4-1 if he could find a way to get the runner. And Mizorowski pitching a little mad now. 3 straight fastballs in, and the third one on the borderline, but he gets the call and he strikes Suzuki out looking. So a nice response after shooting himself in the foot there. Meanwhile, in the Royals and Rangers game, a pop out from John Ray was an adventure for Ezekiel Duran, who I don't think I've ever seen play first base. Rangers fans, if you watch this or are watching this, let me know if you've ever seen Ezekiel Duran play first base. I've only known him as an outfielder, right? If you take a look at some of the highlights MLB has reposted in the last half hour, Austin Wells went yard for the Yankees.
Drive into right field. It's deep, and it is gone. See ya. Long home run.
9 home runs. The second time this season they've hit 9 home runs. Here's a nice highlight. Maximo Acosta.
A few weeks of his major league career, but Brennan Bosch was the one that started up hot.
Maximo.
A few weeks of his major league career, but Brennan Bosch was the one that started up hot.
Maximo Acosta to center field. Numero uno. He's on the board. His first major league hit is a home run. Look at Yuri. Look at the sigh of relief. Look at the family.
A few weeks of his major league career, but Brennan Bosch was the one that started up hot.
Maximo Acosta to center field. Numero uno. He's on the board. His first major league hit is a home run. Look at Yuri. Look at the sigh of relief. Look at the family.
A few weeks of his major league career, but Brennan Bosch was the one that started up hot.
Maximo Acosta to center field. Numero uno. He's on the board. His first major league hit is a home run. Look at Yuri. Look at the sigh of relief. Look at the family.
A few weeks of his major league career, but Brennan Bosch was the one that started up hot.
Maximo Acosta to center field. Numero uno. He's on the board. His first major league hit is a home run. Look at Yuri. Look at the sigh of relief. Look at the family.
A few weeks of his major league career, but Brennan Bosch was.
Like Tucker has struggled lately, but he's gotten things going in a very much smaller sample size. But since the All-Star break, PCA's struggled a little bit. That one he fouls down the line, and Andrew Vaughn cuts it off. We'll get another full count pitch. Once this at-bat is determined, whether it's or plate appearance, right, because it could be a walk. Once this is determined, we'll go to X and read some of the latest tweets or posts, whatever you guys want to call it. I still call it Twitter, so I know I just called it X, but I'm trying to be politically correct. That was 100 miles an hour, and PCA is blown past him. I just wanted to give you guys what I saw, that was on the outside corner. He flipped his bat. But bases loaded double. Michael Busch makes it 3-1. Mizorowski pitches around that runner on second with no outs, and then what became a runner on third and 1 out. Let's look at this highlight here from Josh Lowe. Line drive, Jazz Chisholm hits a line drive out there to right, and Lowe just makes it.
In the steal department, now a liner into right, closing. That's Josh Lowe. Now a tag. Bellinger's going to try to go to third. He's going to be out. Out by plenty at third. Josh Lowe makes the catch. And the throw to Caminero to cut down Bellinger.
I thought I was seeing things because Josh Lowe had all of his moments.
Bellinger a little embarrassed there. Let's go back, as you saw a couple highlights from the Mets and Nationals popping up. So instead of looking at highlights from an hour ago, let's look at the Mets and Nationals live on game day. 5-4, top of the 8th. Mets have 2 outs now. Actually 3. That's the end of the inning. Middle of the 8th. So the Mets are 3 outs from falling to the Nationals and putting themselves up to be tied with the Reds by the end of the night if the Reds win tonight in Anaheim. And the Royals, this could be a game and a half behind the third wild card with a win tonight as well. They lead 3-2 against the Rangers. Royals looking to win a 4-game series by winning the first 3, and they do so tonight. Let's go back to the scores. So Braves, let's go back to X as well. Hurston Waldrop for the Braves, 24 2/3 innings, 24 strikeouts, 0.73 ERA and 0.77 WHIP. Let's go to Waldrop's MLB page, because I'm not going to lie to you guys, I've not heard of this pitcher before. Braves fans, I might be losing some credibility because I don't know if he's a top prospect or not, or if he's pitched before. No, he did pitch last year, pitched in 2 games, did not fare well, gave up 13 earned runs in 2 games. So yes, he's made some sort of adjustment this year. He's 3-0, could be 4-0 by the end of the night. This was his 3rd start of the season. Hurston Waldrop, that's a name to watch out for down the stretch for the Braves as they look to develop some talent heading into next season, where I'm sure they will be competitive again, because the Braves are not, double negative here, are not uncompetitive for too long. They will get back to their winning ways. That's just how the history of that franchise works. Watching the Cubs and Brewers, Christian Yelich just grounded out up the middle to a slightly shifted Dansby Swanson. Royals and Rangers, Noah Cameron is pitching through to the top of the order for the 3rd time, but the Royals have Taylor Clark warming up in the bullpen. Cameron is at 87 pitches. He got Kyle Seager to ground out to Salvi in his last at-bat. Seager did walk in his first plate appearance. So Hurston Waldrop, yeah, what a name, first of all. Kind of sounds like a NASCAR driver. I think I'm thinking of Michael Waltrip back in the day. But yeah, anyway. Let's look at some stats or some tweets from here's the bases clearing double talking about.
Here it comes. Line drive base. Here it comes. Line drive base hit left center field. That's going to roll. In to score is Casey. Swanson on his heels. Here comes Shaw. Michael Busch. A bases. Here it comes. Line drive base hit left.
Okay, so I don't want to jinx it for you Yankees fans, but look at that tweet from Mark Topkin of the Tampa Bay Times. Cam Schlitter. I think I know what I'm going to be watching now, folks. Cam Schlitter. I'm not going to say it, just read the words there. And that game is at Steinbrenner Field, so he must be comfortable pitching there. That's a spring training home of the Yankees. I'm sure he's had a few major league camps there now, the young pitcher. So yeah, if you didn't see that tweet, let's look at it one more time. Let me zoom in on it for you guys so you know I'm not going to jinx anything. Yes, that's happening. I'm going to repost it. Follow me on X. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just more concerned about you guys subscribing to my YouTube, but follow me on X. I will maybe change the title. Just so I could get some more of the fan bases out there that are paying attention. Anyway, yeah, Cam Schlitter is really doing that right now. So I have that game on my second screen. It's 2-0 Yankees. Anthony Volpe just struck out against Edwin Uceta. You see Adam McCalvey pretty much summing up what I said I saw with Mizrowski. That's an encouraging sign for Nationals fans. Ogasawara, I think, sorry, doing pretty good against lefties. Seasoned lefties. To read this tweet from Mark Zuckerman, he's now faced Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, and Juan Soto in the last 3 days, and they've gone 0 for 4 against him. So maybe a lefty specialist for the Nationals down the line as they look to find any pitching they can get. They have some talented core players on the position side. We'll keep an update on the Mets as well. The Mets and the Nationals. I'm actually going to switch that on my other TV to Mets Nationals. Since the Mets could go down, and that would impact the National League wildcard race pretty significantly. Right now, it's 5-4 in the bottom of the eighth. Dalen Lyle is up. And given what is going on in Tampa Bay, once the Yankees come back out to pitch, once Cam Schlitter comes back out to pitch, I will go to their game day so I can narrate exactly what's going on, as history could be made tonight in Tampa Bay as the Yankees and Rays face off. In fact, you know what? Reed Garrett just walked Dalen Lyle. Let's keep track of this Yankees-Rays game. It's the most interesting game now, all of a sudden, given what's happening on the bump for the Yankees. Ryan McMahon, an earlier than most trade deadline move, trade candidate, whatever you want to call it, trade piece. They got him from the Rockies. Rockies were eager to get rid of some players. The Rockies have actually been an above-average team. McMahon did strike out with that cutter. Above-average team since the All-Star break. So we will head to the bottom of the seventh. 9 outs from history, Cam Schlitter, as we wait for him to come out the mound. Let's see how many pitches he's at. Schlitter, 66 pitches through 6 innings. That's good. The old adage that I learned from Mike Krukow as a Giants fan growing up is you don't want to have any more than 15 pitches per inning. And right now he's averaging 11 pitches an inning, right? Hashtag math. 66 pitches in 6 innings, 11 pitches an inning. Schlitter has been a really good pitcher for the Yankees this season, 3.28 ERA in 7 starts. The rookie has done his job, has not had much of turbulence. I mean, that's exactly what you can ask for. 35 and 2/3 innings. Real quick as we wait for him to come back out on the mound in Tampa. Has he had a bad start? No. No start where he's given up more than 3 runs. And both of those starts were 2 of his first 3 starts were 3 runs or more, or 3 runs or less. Were 3 runs, right? 2 of his first 3 starts were 3 earned runs. The rest were 2 or less. Including tonight, he's on a roll. We'll see what he can do. This will be the 3rd time through the order. Who will he be facing for the Rays? It'll be Simpson, the fastest player in baseball. So I'm not an unwritten rules guy, but I am kind of annoying in the way where I wouldn't like to see him bunt. I hope Chandler Simpson does not bunt here. He's hitting .389 in his last 9 games. This is also a candidate of a player who can have a swinging bunt and beat it out because he's so fast. You got Yandy Diaz, the Rays' best hitter for most of the last 5 years, and Brandon Lau. First pitch from Schlitter is a called strike on the inside. 96.6. Just looking at him this is the first time I've seen him pitch live. It kind of reminds me of Corey Kluber, the way he looks down at his feet, his motion, the way he looks down at his feet. Maybe a little bit taller than Kluber, a little bit thinner as well. The next pitch is a high fastball fouled off by Simpson. So quick 0-2 on the Rays' speedy left fielder. Hitting .299 with a .683 OPS. That means he makes a lot of contact. It's a lot of singles. Schlitter again. Just look at the line score. I'm not going to jinx it for Yankee fans. Wow, Simpson slapped that one foul down the left field line. The ball boy is not helping Schlitter's tempo out. He keeps missing. That's the second time the ball's gone past him in a row on a foul ball down the line. Ball in the dirt. The Rays have Griffin Jackson up in the bullpen, if anybody was interested in knowing that. As I switch over and look at the Mets really quick on my screen, I'm not going to switch over on my tab. I shouldn't have said it that way, but Brett Beatty just grounded out to shortstop. Jose Ferrer is trying to close out the game, the lefty for the Nationals. There's now 1 out. The Mets again at risk of, as here's Chandler Simpson. You say in play, no out. What did he do? Grounded a clean single up the middle. So first base runner of the game comes in the top of the 7th. Perfect game no more for Cam Schlitter. He did go the first 18 outs without allowing a base runner, and Chandler Simpson, the pesky rookie speedster, gets a clean single on a hanging curveball. That one just hung up there long enough for Chandler to stick his bat out and hit it right under the legs of the second base umpire. Schlitter will now have to pitch out of the stretch because the tying run is all of a sudden up at the plate. So there it is. Cam Schlitter had a perfect game through 6 innings, gives up a single to Chandler Simpson. That's it for the Yankees. Hopes at history tonight. So we switch over to the Mets. Cedric Mullins lines a base hit up the middle. It went right through the legs of Ferrer. In fact, Ferrer probably had a chance to catch it, handcuffed him a little bit, and went right past him. We see injury delay there. I think some Nationals guys are out to check the crew, the training staff. Yeah, it just handcuffed him and then went off his left groin, the pitcher. So now the Mets have the tying run at first. Cedric Mullins is a threat to steal a base. How many stolen bases does he have this season, though? Training staff still looking at Ferrer. Only has 3 stolen bases in the last 30 games. 17 on the season. 14 of those came with the Orioles. So, could steal a base, but who's up for the Mets? You don't want to steal a... So the top of the order is coming up after Luis Torrens here. You don't bunt. There's 1 out already. So Yandy Diaz, I'm still watching the Yankees and Rays. Yandy Diaz is up at the plate for the Rays. It's a 1-2 count. Simpson is a huge threat to steal. That cutter was nasty, and he strikes Yandy Diaz out lunging. That's a good hitter that just absolutely lunged at a cutter that was on the other side of the plate, the other batter's box, pretty much. Schlitter's cutter kind of looks like a slider, if you ask me, looking at that slow-mo replay. Anyway, here is Torrens, the catcher, going to get even more playing time with Francisco Alvarez going on the injured list just yesterday. Nationals, don't pay too much attention to them because they haven't been very good this year. But I do know they traded Finnegan, their closer, and this might be a closer by committee deal because not a lot of teams have left-handed closers. And the Mets' first two hitters of this inning were left-handed. And Starling Marte, though, is on deck, and he mashes in his career at least. It was Nimmo earlier in the game leading off, but he got hurt. Torrens just grounded into a double play. They're definitely going to check that, though. It was a high throw, and Josh Bell tiptoed on the bag to get the last out of the game. What looked like the last out. We're gonna see, though. The Mets have nothing to lose other than the game. Challenge this, but not challenging it would guarantee a loss, right? I'll let you guys know what I see on this replay. Luis Garcia, 4-6-3 to Abrams, was the three-part out number 3 and out number 27 of the game. The Nationals need to win this one. Nice slow-mo replay by SNY. Yep. Actually, Bell's foot never came off the base. Live, it looked like he had to jump up and then step on the base. But yeah, his foot's there. Yeah, that's out number 3 in the Mets. Oh, man. But the more I look at it, is it there? Might be one of those cases that you hear all the time where the call in the field is the call that stands, because that was so close. Josh Bell, what a game for him. Earlier in this game, he had a home run, too, that extended the Nationals' lead and gave them, at the time, some insurance that they would need. He had a solo shot. We can take a look at that. Bell's always been a solid pro. Right? There's a reason why.
That's well hit by Josh Bell, heading for the score.
Talks, whether it's at the trade deadline or in the offseason, or he always ends up on a big league team. There's Josh Bell.
That's well hit by Josh Bell, heading for the scoreboard. And over. See you later. Number 16 for Josh. And the Nats answer that New York run right away.
That number 19 is magical, man.
Magical number 19.
Yes.
Man, Josh Bell, I think it's a hanging sweeper right here. It's kind of the theme of the night for saying that everything's up.
Earlier, too. So
hey, Patty. I noticed you seem to fix things around here before they even break.
No big secret, just 3 magic words. The ServiceNow AI platform.
Oh, it's like an AI A-team.
Abracadabra.
And again, this is important because the Reds...
Oh, what a good pickoff by Josh Bell. If that ball gets through and Lindor's coming up, yikes. But it's only the solo homer that gets the Mets on the board in the top of the 5th. Great pick by first baseman, Ryan.
It's a great play by JB. Huge play in this game.
You see that tweet? Lineup scored 5 off Singer. Brad Lord was sharp until the 6th.
That's well hit by Josh Bell, heading for the scoreboard. And over. See you later. Number 16 for Josh. And the Nats answer that New York run right away.
That number 19 is magical, man.
Magical number 19.
Yes.
Man, Josh Bell, I think it's a hanging sweeper right here. It's kind of the theme of the night for saying that everything's up.
Now let's see what's the next big game going on. I guess we will watch some Brewers and Cubs. Let's watch some Brewers and Cubs.
Here it comes. Line drive, base hit, left center field. That's going to roll. In to score is Casey. Swanson on his heels. Here comes Shaw. Michael Busch. A bases clearing.
Down 3-1 in this 5-game series.
Every second can have purpose. It can be more than just a moment in time. This is why Citizen created Eco Drive, powering our watches by any light, so they never need a battery. Because to help make every second count, we have to light the way.
A nice. He's been a good piece for them. Starting pitcher, he'd probably be a third or fourth starter in the playoffs.
The kick in, the 2-2. Struck him out. Ray gets out of the jam. And
Imanaga. Speaking of that, let's just look at the Cubs rotation real quick. As we have some time here, go to the roster, depth chart. Do they have a game one starter? I guess it would be Imanaga, right? And Tyone, Boyd, Ray, and Cade Horton. So Imanaga and Boyd, I think, have been their two best starters this year, just on the outside looking in. What has Tyone done? I think, is that just to split up lefty, righty, lefty? 4.26. Boyd was killing it at one point this year, but I haven't looked at his ERA in a while. 2.61. Last 7 games. Yeah, so he's been consistent all year. And this is a guy a lot of teams gave up on. In fact, I remember in one of the years, the Giants signed him, and he didn't pitch, and then he gets traded to Seattle, and he has a turnaround. And then, look at 2023, went back to the Tigers, did not do well. Last year did well with Cleveland, and he's taken that and gotten even better. So it's really been a bounce back, comeback play of the year type season for Matt Boyd. So yeah, that's the Cubs rotation. Ray has done well. 4th starter right now, pitching against Isaac Collins, one of the better rookies the last few months. Won Rookie of the Month in July. Ray did just give up a single, as we look at the live tab here on the left, to Sal Frelick. Brewers, if actually right now, if you want to go look on my channel, I did make a video. My last video was about the Brewers and their turnaround this summer. Collins, looking at Collins' stance, it reminds me of someone where he keeps his hands really low and kind of upright at the same time. Kind of Colton Wongish, I would say, if you guys remember him. He just retired. Former infielder for the Cardinals and Dodgers and Mariners. I'm sure I'm missing a few other teams that he played for. He kind of bounced around, but he was well known for the Cardinals. Back to the Yankees and Rays. I still have that one going on my other TV. Cam Schlitter just struck out Junior Caminero on a nice 3-2 curveball. That was not going to be a strike. Cutter, actually, not a curveball. First glance at it, but the swing by Caminero looked like an off-speed swing. He was so out in front of it. So first and second for the Rays. They did break up Schlitter's perfect game in this inning. Bottom of the 7th. Collins just walked. So it's going to be first and second for the Brewers and at Wrigley Field as well. Ray is at 82 pitches. As they do a mound visit, I will keep you guys posted on the Yankees and Rays, because that's another game with some playoff implications, some wild card implications. Let's go back to the scoreboard. The MLB.com scoreboard. So you see the Marlins up 6-2 on St. Louis still. Looks like they're 2 outs away from avoiding the sweep. Texas down 3-2 in Kansas City. Their playoff hopes. This was a big series for both teams because it was a chance for both of them to solidify themselves in the American League wildcard race, and the Royals have taken their chance and run with it so far. Josh Smith is pinch hitting for Josh Young. Young kind of having a down year after bursting onto the scene. You see he's hitting .239 with a .659 OPS. Look at that. Last 15 games, 176. That is not good. He was a pretty big part of that World Series team. Hit 782, had a 782 OPS that year. Kind of a fall from grace this year, but everybody has that every once in a while. What were his postseason stats in the World Series season, though? So that World Series year, he had an 890 OPS in the postseason. Pretty good, about the 311 average. So yeah, Josh Jung, he'll be back. You know, I always root for the best for any major league player. He'll be back. 3 home runs that postseason, but just not having a good year so far for the Rangers as we head into late August now. Josh Smith grounded out to Taylor Clark to get the second out of the inning for the Rangers, or for the Royals against the Rangers. So I'm keeping my eye on this game that we're looking at right now on game day. And I'm also looking at the Rays and Yankees, watching that live. 3-1 count to the right fielder Lowe. And he swings through 99 at the knees. Nice pitch. Was not a challenge. It was actually perfectly placed. Josh Lowe just swung through it. I mean, you can't really do much with that. So Schlitter, perfect 3-1 pitch. Right on their feet in Tampa Bay. Wilson Contreras just grounded into a double play. William Contreras, sorry. Just grounded into a double play. Colin Ray gets out of it. Huge double play. Now he qualifies for the win for the Cubs. Cubs lead 3-1. Swanson, nice turn to Horner. Horner flips it over to Bush. See if the Brewers can hold the deficit at 2. Schlitter throws 100 outside. Bases loaded now for the Rays. Ezekiel Duran just singled to center field. Now the Rangers have the tying run on first base. Aaron Boone is out for the Yankees to come get Cam Schlitter. Schlitter enters the inning with 66 pitches and a perfect game, but he will exit the bottom of the 7th with the bases loaded and 94 pitches. Still has not given up a run, but he's responsible for the 3 guys on base. We got 2 of the games I'm watching on commercial, so now we're just going to keep this one at game day. Royals and Rangers. Jonah Heim is up. Hit right-handed the first 2 times. Now he's hitting left-handed, the DH tonight. Of course, his primary position is catcher, but Kyle Higashioka is catching tonight for Texas. Pitch in the dirt from Taylor Clark. Royals, one of the stories of baseball the last week as they look to inch closer to the top 3 wild cards. Again, we highlighted how close those 3 wild cards actually are with the Yankees, Red Sox, and Mariners. Mariners and Red Sox both losing last several games. Royals have gone 7-1 on their current homestand, including winning these last 2 against the Rangers, and they also swept the White Sox this weekend. Ezekiel Duran stole second, so now the tying run is on second base with a 2-2 count, 2 outs to Jonah Heim. One thing I wanted to run by the public, if anybody does end up watching this, I know I'm kind of just out, starting out here, so I don't expect a lot of viewers. Anybody like the 3D feature? I don't see it right now in here, but let me know. Do you guys like the 3D feature? If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's where MLB shows 3-dimensional versions. Kind of looks like PlayStation 1 graphics. But it's kind of cool at the same time because it's live tracking and you get different perspectives, different angles, live stats and everything. It's like StatCast come to life and it's live. It's gotten better over the years. I don't know if it's my style. The only way I would watch that is if the game was blacked out in my area. If you have the old traditional way to do this, and then you can also track it in here on the top left, I see no reason to do that. This has been a long... There's no way they're still waiting to throw this pitch. I'm going to refresh the page. 2-2 count. Yeah, I don't know if my game day is not working or what, but they've been stuck on 2-2 for about a minute now. Oh, maybe if I read what was on the left, the Royals are challenging the tag play with Ezekiel Duran. So while they're doing that, I'll keep you guys posted on Cubs and Brewers. Let's switch over to that. Right now it's a 1-2 count. 2-1 count, sorry. To Shaw. He was the third guy to walk in a row off Mizraski. In that inning, the Cubs scored 3 runs. He does fly out sharply to center field. Deep to the warning track. Blake Perkins makes a nice catch. Now 2 outs for the Cubs here in the bottom of the 5th. Let's switch back to the Royals and Rangers. Still no update on whether or not Duran was thrown out in the inning. Yeah, Shaw pieced that one up. Perkins had a pretty routine, though, actually, a couple short steps short of the warning track. Luke Weaver gets out of it for the Yankees. He strikes out Fiducia on 3 pitches. So Weaver comes in. We'll see how the Yankees line up that bullpen for the 8th and 9th. If it's just going to be Weaver coming back out again and then David Bednar. Bednar has been a solid pitcher, solid acquisition, one of the better acquisitions closing for the Yankees. The other 2 guys they got, though, Camilo Doval and Jake Bird, not so much. So they hit on one of the 3 so far. Bird and Doval have plenty of room for improvement, and they have track records where they can overcorrect and be good again before the season's over for the Yankees. 1-2 count on Bush. Heim, we're still waiting on Duran to see whether he's safe or out. Call was overturned, and he was caught stealing. The Royals have allowed the least amount of stolen bases this season. Saw that graphic the other day on Royals broadcast. So they've allowed the least amount of. You know who also is good for those kind of stats? Codify on X. Give them a shout out. Codify has some really good stats like that. But that is actually where I saw it. I thought I saw it on a graphic, but now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, they've thrown out the most. I don't know if there's 2 different things. I did not mean to click on her. I apologize. I don't know who that is. But yeah. Modify is good for stuff like that. And also stuff like that. Did you know Nick Kurtz was leading off? He's leading off, and he has a 1.044 OPS and an average above 300, which is wild. Guardians 11-4 went up by 1 run after 8 innings. Can somebody say Emmanuel Clase, right? Clase, of course, still suspended because of the investigation into possible gambling. Him and Luis Ortiz, right? Yeah, that stat was, I don't know when that was. Yeah, the Orioles, they have been playing better. We're kind of the reverse Giants, right? And they're black and orange like the Giants. The Giants started 24-14. They're whatever since, right? Let's do the math real quick in our head. They're 61-65. So they're 37-51. So it's very much the reverse Giants. The Orioles are only 8 games under 500. The Giants are 4 now. Yeah, how about Corbin Carroll, right? This was last night. 16 triples and 27 home runs. Jimmy Rollins is the last player to do something like that. Can't find that stat I was looking for with the Royals, where they've thrown out the most runners. Or it's either they've thrown out the most runners or allowed the least amount of stolen bases, right? Because preventing runs, base runners to steal bases isn't necessarily throwing out the most. It could be pitchers being good at holding runners and not allowing as many opportunities. But a big part of that was actually Freddie Fermin, who the Royals traded. It's obvious, people call him overrated, people call him underrated. At some point, if you get so many people from so many sides saying different things, maybe he's just somewhere in the middle. Anyway, Fermin was a big part of that. Royals traded him to the Padres. Salvi, though, has a good pop time. And he's better defensive catcher than people give him credit for. So right now, just to update you guys, it's 8:35 in Central Time where I'm at. Right now, I have the Royals on game day, and the two games I'm watching for you guys are the Brewers and Cubs, as the Cubs look to make another small dent in that 7-game lead that the Brewers have over them in the National League Central. The Cubs, of course, led the National League Central for the first 3 months of the season. The Brewers just did not lose, seemingly, for about 2.5 months. And they now have a 7-game lead. But it was 9 2 days ago. Cubs have won 2 in a row, and they lead now in the 6th, 3-1. And then the other game I'm keeping tabs on is the Yankees and Rays. Griffin Jax is on the mound right now against Trent Grisham. Grisham's 2 for 3 tonight with a home run and a single. Has 22 homers on the year. He might have just hit another one. Back at the track, it is gone. A home run, second home run of the night for Trent Grisham. That one was a moonshot. He's used to a short porch at Yankee Stadium, short porch here in Tampa Bay, and probably doesn't get out at a lot of other places. Who knows? We'll have to check the StatCast on that later. But he does hit one and adds some more insurance for the Yankees. It's now 3-0. 2 of those runs courtesy of Trent Grisham home runs. The Yankees looking to keep hold of that first wild card spot. Andrew Vaughn, a big reason why the Brewers have sustained such success. He was traded for in early June. Now been with the team for 2 months, and he's just picked right up where they needed him to pick up, especially with Rhys Hoskins out. Brewers just sent Hoskins on a rehab assignment to AAA yesterday, I believe. Nico Horner makes a nice over-the-shoulder catch. Yelich is a good base runner, just like all of his teammates. Brewers probably the best base running team, and he does not come close to getting doubled off. So nice play by Horner. 1 out in the 6th for the Cubs. As they still have Ray out there, Colin Ray, veteran pitcher, 95 pitches, had a mound visit last inning and got a double play. So that worked, did its job. He does get Siegler here on the second pitch to jam shot, ground out to third. Moves the runner over to second because it was so weakly hit. So it does get the runner over. Now 2 outs and a runner in scoring position for the Brew Crew. It's actually a bunt. My feed is a little bit behind, and holy shnikes, what a play at third base by Shaw. It was a bunt, up and in bunt. Bunted a little too hard because it was thrown so hard at the face of Siegler. And a nice throw, nice scoop by Bush. Fading away throw by Shaw. And Caleb Thielbar will come in now for the Cubs. Lefty on lefty matchup for Bryce Terang. 1-for-1 with a double and a walk against Ray. So he was seeing him pretty well tonight. Ray will get a standing ovation from the Cubs crowd. He'll leave this game with a 3-1 lead, and he's responsible for that runner on second. Back to the Royals, Daniel Lynch on the mound. Jonah Heim's going to be, so this is a rare occurrence, I would say. I don't know how many times you see this. Heim batted right-handed his first 2 at-bats, and then he got up in the 6th inning batting left-handed. Obviously, that's not a rare occurrence, right? Switch hitters switch all the time. But he didn't get to finish the at-bat because Duran was caught stealing at second. So he's going to come back out and bat right-handed for the 3rd time in a game. So he didn't officially have an at-bat left-handed, but he did switch sides in the last inning to bat left-handed. Only things weirdos like me notice, right? The way the Yankees have a runner on second, I was not paying attention to how they got that runner on second, but that was following Grisham's home run. Ballinger's now up. 72 is on second. That's Caballero, correct, former Ray. You know what? Since I'm watching that game, let's kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about if I'm not looking at it constantly. So how did that runner get on second for the Yankees? Let's see. Aaron Judge flied out to right. So Caballero got his 40th steal of the season. The majority of those are for the team he's playing against now tonight. Ben Rice got a single, and then Caballero stole second. Judge flew out to right. Let's look at the exit velo. Anytime Aaron Judge does anything, you want to look at it, right? 222 foot. So a soft fly ball for his standards. When you see fly out, you want to see how far he hit it. Ballinger's up. He takes a breaking ball low. Playing at Steinbrenner Field, home of the Yankees during spring training. Two and two count. Now you're looking at that right. That number 4 pitch was a called strike. That missed by at least half a baseball. As Terang, first pitch swinger, as we go back to Brewers and Cubs, gets a base hit. So now runners on first with 2 outs, and the Brewers score a run. They're now down 3-2. So Terang, nice little aggressive swing to lead off the at bat, forcing fastball at the knees. Knew what he was looking for, gets it through past the diving Horner. So we're going to switch over to this game now. Cubs and Brewers. Blake Perkins, defense first outfielder, but he does a 737 OPS, which is above Major League average. 2-1 count, Thielbar. The Yankees did not get anything going the rest of that inning, but they did tack on a run, 3-0 now. Trent Grisham hit his second homer of the season, of the game, 23rd of the season, I believe. And really quick, as I was refreshing my MLB TV feed, saw that it's 3-0 Rockies. You know, on the mound tonight, it's Shohei Ohtani for the Dodgers. We'll look into that here in a second after this at-bat finishes with Blake Perkins and Caleb Thielbar. It's 2-2 right now. Thielbar just checked on the runner at first. Perkins swings through a fastball. And actually, that was the second strike. My feed is so far behind on my TV. 2-2 now. Perkins fouls one off. Thielbar has a 2.18 ERA and a 26% strikeout rate. So whenever 1 out of every 4 guys he faces, he strikes out. And that just went up a little bit because he just struck Blake Perkins out swinging on a curveball right there. We went fastball, fastball, curveball. Last 3 pitches of that at bat. Thielbar, of course, familiar with him all his days with the Twins. That is a looping curveball, and he knew it right when he threw it that was going to be a nasty one. Even though it didn't look as good in the on the box there, it was a nice loopy one live. We're gonna look at the Dodgers and Rockies first, though. See, it's 3-2 now. Langford's up 2 for 2 with a home run and a walk. Lucas Ursek's coming in for the Royals to face Wyatt Langford. Daniel Lynch gets 2 outs, but he also gives up a double. And there's a runner on third now. 2 outs. We'll check in with that one. But I wanted to see how Shohei Ohtani gave up those runs against the Rockies. If it was Shohei, I know he started, but yeah, he's still in the game. He's still pitching. Look at the summary here. So again, 3-0 Rockies. He doubled to lead off the game, which is funny. Okay, so we got through the first inning clean. Brenton Doyle doubles. And then Arcia gets a sac fly. So that was 2 runs in the second. And somebody must have taken him deep in the fourth. No, Warming Bernabel. First of all, S tier name, right? Doubles. Throwing error by Conforto. Barnabel gets to third. Or wait, no, out at third. Well, now we got to watch this because this is Whenever I see that many
Hey, Patty. I've
lines
noticed you
in
seem to fix things around here before they even break.
No big secret, just 3 magic words.
it makes me
The
interested, but
ServiceNow AI
there's too much
platform.
going on there. I would rather
It's like an AI
watch it
A-team.
than
Abracadabra.
if it's that long. If it's like if it's this Mickey Moniak singles up the middle, I don't need to watch
Leads
that.
everyone in hits
This
among that rookie
seems
class. This ball is down the left field line. Plenty fair. Back to third, picking up Andy Gonzalez. He'll get a stop sign. It's a double. And now Beck's going to go home. Bergerbell at third is going to get tagged out. But the Rockies have a 3-0 lead on the miscue in the infield on the return throw by Conforto. Bergerbell ripped a double against Ohtani.
I love that the Rockies are tagging on. So this play, little two-seamer again, stays flat. Bergerbell just rakes. So short as soon as he
didn't make his debut on the mound this year, which was his first start as a Dodger because he did not pitch all of last season. Of course, he was just a DH last year. But he did not make his first start this season until June 16th against the Padres. So he's about 2 months into the season as a starting pitcher. And this is one of his worst outings, if not his worst outing so far, especially when you factor in who's playing. Again, it's in Colorado, so you take it with a grain of salt, so I guess it balances it out. Still, the Rockies have been the worst team in baseball this year. Not lately, though. That crown probably goes to the Giants, if I'm being honest, right? Speaking of the Giants, their game just got underway against the Padres, top of the first. 0-0. So we did not get a game with a third straight leadoff home run because the Giants did the last 2 nights. They had a leadoff home run. Bob Seymour for the Rays. History alert for himself, at least. Wow, first of all, look at that home run. Look at the pitch he homered on. First career home run, I believe, right? I think he just made his debut this weekend against the Giants, where they had 3 Seymours in one game. Relief pitcher Seymour, and then Carson Seymour for the Giants, and this guy, Bob Seymour. The big lefty. Was that his first? Yep, that was his first major league home run and just his second major league hit in 15. Now that 14 at-bats right there is going to be 15 at-bats. So Bob Seymour. Sounds like a computer-generated MLB The Show guy, 5-10 seasons into your franchise. But he just hit a home run, his first of his career, off Luke Weaver. And it's now 3-1. So that insurance run that Grisham gives him in the top of the inning, Weaver gives right back to the Rays. Keeping some tabs, literally, on other games for you. Suzuki against Shelby Miller. Shelby Miller, of course, was an acquisition for the Brewers at the trade deadline from the Diamondbacks. He was injured. Is this his first game? Might be his second game with the Brewers. Let's look at game logs. AZ. No. This is actually his 1, 2, 3. This is his 6th game and second in a row for the Brewers. He was the Diamondbacks closer, but the Brewers have had a pretty good bullpen this year. So Shelby Miller slots here in the 6th inning in a game that they're losing. They've had guys like Abner Uribe and, of course, their closer, McGill, headline that bullpen. Ashby has been good for them, too. Miller does give up a hit here to Suzuki. Single on a line drive to Isaac Collins. Tristan Gray just struck out for the Rays. They got him earlier this year from the White Sox. Gray had already played in his career for the Rays, but went back to them from the White Sox. Ursag just blew the save. And it's Corey Seager. Not save, right? He blew the hold, I guess. Corey Seager singles on a sharp line drive to Mike Yastrzemski. And Jonah Heim scores. Langford to second. So Ursag That's not where you want to throw pitches to Corey Seager. Seager usually swings at one of the first 3 pitches of an at-bat. That time, he did not. The 4th pitch is a changeup right there, and honestly, could have hit it probably farther, knowing him, but didn't. And it's now 3-3 in the 7th inning with Marcus Semien up. Back to the Rays and Yankees. Chandler Simpson's up again for the 2nd inning straight. He led off last inning, breaking up Cam Schletter's perfect game. Now he's up trying to get the go-ahead run up, or get the tying run up at the plate if he can get on base here. Ursack does get out of it. He gets Semien on the first pitch sinker. So Ursack walks Langford, gives up the game-tying single to Corey Seager, but does get Marcus Semien out. Oh, wow. See, here we go. This is something I'm going to have to watch because look at that. Now, of course, the highlight's not going to come up for a while, at least for 5 or 10 minutes, but Marcus Semien singles on a ground ball. The shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr. Wyatt Langford out at home. Shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr. to catcher Salvador Perez. So it must have been Bobby Witt Jr. being absolutely a superstar like he always is. I assume, because I haven't seen the play, I don't have it on one of my 2 screens. I have Brewers, Cubs, and Yankees, Rays. I assume it was Bobby Witt Jr. making an absolutely crazy diving play in the hole somewhere, and Langford thought it went out of the outfield, and it didn't. And Bobby Witt backdoors him actually, he didn't backdoor him because it says he threw to Salvi first, but throws to Salvi, and Salvi throws to Garcia and gets him in a pickle. Pete Crow Armstrong just struck out chasing a breaking ball, or an off-speed pitch, could have been changeup. But Seiya Suzuki does steal second, so the Cubs will have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs in the 6th inning, up 3-2. That was just Suzuki's 4th steal of the season. You would think he'd have more than that. I would think, at least. Seems like he's faster than that. The Rays now will head to the 9th inning, down 2 to the Yankees. Bottom of the 1st in LA, Angels, or in Anaheim, Angels have a runner on first. The Reds, with a win tonight, will tie the Mets for the 3rd wild card. So those are the games that just got underway. San Diego and San Francisco. Landon Roop on the mound for the Giants against J.P. Sears, who will probably carve up the Giants because he's done so at least once or twice in the past. And the Giants have not been able to hit very many lefties this year. They did hit Nestor Cortez pretty well the other night, but for most of the season, they haven't been able to hit lefties. Anyway, some games. So the games I'm keeping tabs on, Yankees Rays, because the Yankees are the number 1 wild card team, and they're the Yankees, right? They're always relevant, pretty much. Cubs and Brewers. As I believe that was, Kelly just struck out looking. Carson Kelly just struck out looking. Cubs and Brewers, keep track of that one. It's 3-2 now as you head to the top of the 7th. And then the Royals and Rangers, 3-3. Bobby Witt Jr. leading off. Or no, actually, Yastrzemski already flew out, so it's not Bobby Witt Jr. leading, or it is Bobby Witt Jr., but he's not leading off. Yep, so exactly what I thought happened. Here's a description of what happened on that play. Rangers pull even in the 7th on a 2-out single by Corey Seager. We saw that on a changeup on game day, but the inning ends when Wyatt Langford out in a rundown between 3rd and home. Bobby Witt Jr. made a diving stop to keep a Marcus Semien single in the infield, but Langford didn't stop at 3rd. So yes, Bobby Witt Jr., I would call that, in its most technical term, a defensive run saved. I'm not sure if that's how those are kept, if you could just say that, hey, that's a defensive run saved. But that is basically just as good as robbing a home run or throwing a runner out. He prevented a run right there. Langford, for some reason, decided he wanted to run. We're going to watch the play. I'm trying to get the highlight here. The video. Corey Seager's RBI single. That was the one that tie it. Let's watch that, I guess, right? Probably have to wait for that to load. No,
been pretty dialed on this trip. The 2-1. And that one is lined out to right field. That's
a 2-1 count.
Been pretty dialed on this trip. The 2-1. And that one is lined out to right field. That's a base hit. It ties the game. Heim scores easily. Langford stops at second. And Seager makes it a new game in the 7th inning.
Awesome.
And waiting for
Hey,
Armstrong
Patty. I've noticed you seem to fix things around here before they even break.
No big secret, just 3 magic words. The ServiceNow AI platform.
Oh, it's like an AI A-team.
Abracadabra.
They have not scored since. Yeah,
there it goes. Deep into right center field, and the run.
I was there last night live to see that.
There it goes. Deep into right center field, and the Royals have 3 in the bottom of the first.
3 runs, right? Sasquatch just levels a breaking ball that was not moving enough to catch the outside corner. That did not have enough snap on it to beat Pasquantino's swing to the outside corner, and he goes ahead and places that one into right center. As I keep tabs on the Royals, batter timeout, Bobby Witt 1 and 2. I will let you know the Brewers and Cubs are still 3-2. Caleb Thielbar's on the mound with his team leading. Chicago. Frelick is up at the plate, the leadoff hitter for the Brewers. Sal Frelick is 1 for 3 tonight. It's a 2-0 count. Given that it's she shows bunt and now it's 3-0. So given that it's a 1-run deficit, I assume Milwaukee's going to take the pitch or tell them to take a pitch here. Bobby Witt Jr. singles on a fly ball to Evan Carter. So BWJ doing his job, getting on base there. See if he tries to steal second base. And with the Yankees and Rays, it's 3-1. Count even at 2-2 to Anthony Volpe. Englert on the mound for Tampa Bay. Mason Englert looking to send the Rays up in the bottom of the 9th with just a 2-run deficit. Sasquatch is up. He has that home run we just showed and 2 walks. So see if Armstrong, as I say, see if Armstrong challenges him. In play, no out on a cutter inside. Frelick, by the way, just struck out looking. So Thielbar comes all the way back from a 3-0 count and gets Frelick. That one did cross the knees, and it was a strike. Another fly ball single. So the Royals are just flying out into the right spots. A 65-mile-an-hour fly ball single for Bobby Witt Jr. And then a 62-mile-an-hour. Now I'm going to put this on the main screen. I'll keep you updated on what happens with the Brewers and Cubs, but this is getting interesting now with the Royals and the Rangers. I will let you know the Padres took an early 1-0 lead against the Giants in the first inning. Giants will bat in the bottom of the top of the second. Also, the Rockies scored 2 more runs against the Dodgers. It's 5-0 at Coors Field, but 5-0 is more like a 2-3-0 lead at Coors because of the altitude, and especially because the Dodgers are the team that's down 5-0. They could come back in a heartbeat. Yankees and Rays will head to the bottom of the 9th. I didn't see anybody warming up in the bullpen, but I assume it's going to be David Bednar. Michael Garcia up at the plate for the Royals. I'm looking to get it. I have to switch apps on my TV from MLB TV to FanDuel Sports Network because the Royals are my local team. Garcia, of course, one of the most improved players in baseball this year, probably the most besides P. Crow Armstrong. He was not in the opening day starting lineup. He was on the Royals roster, but he was not opening day starting lineup. They were kind of trying to have him be a utility player, but within the first month, he's like, no, I'm a third baseman. I will play third base. I think the Royals started Jonathan India at third base on opening day, or Biggio. One of the guys it was not Garcia. Garcia fouls that one off to the right side, so he's just staying alive here. Seen 3 different types of movement as you look at those 1, 2, 3 pitches: cutter, sweeper, sinker. Then another cutter there, not even close. So Armstrong thinking that he's getting Garcia in swing mode, but he's too good, at least for that pitch. Armstrong, as I'm watching this game, is pitching from the extreme first base side. Garcia takes ball 2. This fastball was nowhere close. 2-2. The Royals' third baseman. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. David Bednar on the mound for the Yankees. As I'm watching that, they just flashed a graphic on the Rays broadcast. The last 31 games has a .85 ERA. He struggled a lot last season and struggled to begin this season, but in his last 20 or so games, the Pirates got him back in form and got him on a contender like the Yankees. Garcia, as we're watching here, strikes out swinging on a high sweeper from Armstrong. My TV is about 30 seconds behind, so it still has it as a 2-2 count. Once I see Garcia's swing, I'll let you know how badly he got fooled on that sweeper. Yeah, Armstrong was, as you could see on the game day, nowhere close with the 3 balls he threw. Then he drops a curveball right at the belt on the opposite side of the strike zone. I could see why he kind of fooled Garcia there. Yeah, it says sweeper. That it's saying sweeper on MLB game day. There's no way that's a sweeper. That looks like a cutter almost. It says sweeper, but it doesn't move very much and it's very flat. You can't tell me that's a sweeper. That looks like a cutter to me. So, and that's a cutter. So I guess a sweeper is just, I don't know. I know what a sweeper is. It's been in baseball the last few years, but a sweeper is more like a slurve. Used to be called a slurve, right? A slider curve hybrid. That sweeper does not look like that. That looks like a cutter slider hybrid. Too flat to be a sweeper. This guy just throws a lot of junk, Armstrong. So he's got Salvi 3-0. He's probably trying to avoid Salvi to get to the 6-hitter. Armstrong has pitched a lot in his career. Sean Armstrong has pitched for Cleveland, Seattle, Baltimore, Tampa Bay, Miami. So he's pitched for a lot of teams. Bounced around, but usually when you pitch for that many teams, you're a serviceable pitcher. 3.93 ERA for a relief pitcher, mostly throughout his career, is pretty good. Oop, wrong game. Anyway, Brendan Lau is up in full count against Bednar. I'm trying to go back to Royals. He did walk Salvi, so it'll be Nick Lofton who pinch hit for Adam Frazier earlier in this game and made an out. So bases will be loaded with 2 outs. As we wait for the first pitch to Lofton, the full count pitch is spiked in the dirt on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Bednar. Bednar does have a tendency to make things interesting, so the tying run will get up to the plate for the Rays, and who will that tying run be? Junior Caminero. Caminero, of course, was in the home run derby, and he has 35 home runs this season. So a candidate to tie this game for the the Rays. Was fooled a little bit by that curveball. I'm watching this game on my other screen and did have to back out of the batter's box just a little bit with that open stance. Bednar did execute that pitch well and then throws one. Let's see how many feet. Doesn't say, but that was not a competitive pitch. Catcher did well, Austin Wells, no pun intended, to block that one. And Nick Lofton grounds right back to the pitcher, Armstrong, and strands. The bases loaded. So we'll go to the 8th inning, and the Rangers and Royals are tied 3. Let's go back to the Rays and Yankees. And once this game is over, in play, no outs. Caminero, oh man, that was a high chopper, by the way, from Lofton to Armstrong. So he did well to stay in front of that one and not panic. Caminero singles on a sharp ground ball. So runners on first and second now for Bednar against the Rays. Josh Lowe coming up. But here's Bob Seymour's first career home run.
And a high shot.
For that mound visit. It's high, fast.
And a high shot deep into right field. That's got great carry and is gone. Home run off the bat of Seymour. And he puts the Rays on the board. His first home run. And the Rays
within striking distance in this game. In fact, Lowe could win the game with one swing of the bat here. Pete Fairbanks warming up in the bullpen, the closer for the Rays in case this game does go to the 10th inning. First pitch strike to Lowe, right at the knees, challenge. Bednar knew he needed to get something over the plate there, and he does well. Now I wouldn't throw that again, probably. You could definitely tell Lowe is the brother of now Red Sox first baseman Nathaniel Lowe. There was a time where all three were on the same team, right? Lowe, Lau, and Lowe. Lau is on second. Ball girl almost made a great play at first base. Ball girl almost made a great play. Did stop it though. 0-2 count now as Lowe did hit it down the line on that pitch, that foul. Was it foul down the first base line? Now another foul ball. My feed is not as far behind as it was with the Brewers and Cubs game, but this one is still about 10 seconds behind Lowe. Just emergency hack there on a splitter that he identified as a strike, and rightfully so. That would have been strike 3 if he didn't swing at it and foul it off. Bednar gets the sign and spikes a curveball, but Lowe did not identify that one as a ball. So now 2 outs. That one was a little bit low. No pun intended. 2 outs, first and second, and it's going to be Fiducia, the catcher. We switch over to the Royals and Rangers. I want to let you know there's been a pitching change. Sammy Long is in. We got Higashioka to fly out to center field. Let's take a quick check of these other games. Angels and Reds still tied up at 0-0. Bottom of the second in Anaheim. Giants have runners on the corners, but they're still losing 1-0 to the Padres. Twins and A's. I have not mentioned that game once tonight, but they're tied up 2-2. The A's have actually been one of the hotter teams lately. Shea Langeliers and Nick Kurtz have been amazing lately. Nick Kurtz specifically. He's actually stolen Rookie of the Year from Jacob Wilson, his teammate. Wilson was the starting shortstop in the All-Star game. Kurtz was not in the All-Star game or even on the radar, but that 4-homer game and everything since then for him. 2 walk-offs. The Astros have single-handedly, I'm not going that far, but they've bolstered his Rookie of the Year chances so highly. Because not only did he have that 4-homer game against them and I think he was 6 for 6 that game. He also had earlier in the season back-to-back walk-off home runs, or not back-to-back. It might not have been back-to-back nights, but in the same series against the Astros. So Fiducia here 2-1. See what kind of pitch he gets to hit. Now 2-2, as that pitch was down the middle. Hunter Fiducia, 133 average on the season. Will the Yankees gain half a game on the Red Sox before they play each other tomorrow? Bednar, I would throw just more cheese. That fastball, Fiducia looked overmatched. But, I mean, he's been spiking the curveball pretty well. He's trusted Wells to block for him. wild pitch here or pass ball would get both runners in scoring position. Wow, Sam Long just threw a disgusting curveball to strike Josh Smith out. And the Royals have 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Bednar stepped off, as you saw on game day. Payoff pitch in what could be the Yankees' 69th win, nice, of the season. What is it going to be? It's going to be a fastball. Lined out to right center. And, off the wall, off the top of the wall. Who's running on first? You see in-play runs there. Oh, Caminero! He does score, and Bednar blows the save. So now 3-3. Bednar had been awesome the last 2+ months for both the Pirates and Yankees. He leaves one over the middle, and Fiducia, who is a light-hitting catcher, ties it up. And was inches away from hitting the go-ahead or the walk-off home run at home. Obviously, that's where he hit walk-off home runs at home. But yes, Hunter Fiducia, his 3rd double of the season. This one ties it up for the Rays. Jake Mangum will now hit for Tampa. They're showing the slow-mo replay. Just how close was it to being out? Yeah, I would say about 1.5 feet, 2 feet. Mangum got one right down the middle and fouled it off. For the Rays, who did not have a base runner through the first 6 innings, get the first career home run from Bob Seymour in the 8th. Rally here in the 9th with 2 outs. Hunter Fiducia hits a game-tying double. That was about a glove's length away from being a home run to win the game. So I'm just going to keep it locked in on this game day here. Let you guys know if there are any Yankees fans or Rays fans watching out there what comes of this bottom of the 9th as Aaron Boone looks kind of defeated. They just panned him in the dugout, chewing his gum very intensely. Mangum fouls the splitter off. So just in a quick break here, I'm not going to switch tabs. I am keeping an eye out on the Royals and the Rangers. Jonah Heim is up. It's an 0-1 count, and there was a runner on first. Ezekiel Duran did get on base against Sam Long. Mangum against Bednar here. As the Rays look to keep their very slim wild card hopes alive. Another foul splitter. Heim just singled for the Rays. And now there's runners on first and second, or for the Rangers. Now there's runners on first and second for Texas in that game, as they're another team I think is just half a game ahead of the Rays or tied with the Rays in that long shot of a wild card position. They're within striking distance of these Yankees and also the team that the Rangers are playing, the Royals. Mangum strikes out on a high fastball. So it'll be 8-9-1 coming up for the Yankees. Swinging strike, it'll be Pete Fairbanks with the ghost runner. On second, it will be Anthony Volpe. Let's switch to Royals-Rangers game day as I keep talking to you guys about it. I'm not showing you. There's a mound visit right now that I'm looking at, but Long has already thrown another pitch according to game day. Low curveball. Sammy Long's got the traditional 12-6 curveball. Kind of seeing guys like Barry Zito back in the day. So as we wait for the next pitch, what will a win do here for the Royals? It'll put them within a game and a half of that last wild card spot and put them well also within, as we were talking about, striking distance, within striking distance of the first and second wild card spots, the Yankees and Red Sox. The only thing is there, the Royals are going to have an outright better record so than both of those teams to overtake them in the standings because they lost the season series to both teams. So 2-0 count to Freeman. Evan Carter on deck. Freeman's hitting 100 this year. But given that he's in the bigs, I assume It's probably like a 1 for 10, 2 for 20 scenario. 2 for 20 for Cody Freeman. The rookie, he was a 2019 fourth round pick. And Sam Long, how many pickoffs did he try? Whatever he did, that was his third pickoff try. So gutsy. They must have seen something because he did pick off Duran. Duran got caught stealing earlier, and he gets picked off here. Second base at Kauffman Stadium has not been friendly to him. So, of course, with the newer rules the last couple years, picking players off, you have 3 tries to do it. And if he didn't pick him off there, Duran would have automatically gotten third base, and I don't know if the runner on first would have gotten second because of the pickoff rule. But hey, that third pickoff attempt. Wait a minute, that was only second. Only his second pickoff attempt. Excuse me. But anyway, still they felt something was going on there because back-to-back pickoff attempts. You got Duran. Rangers do want to take a look at this. I'm watching it. It looks like Lofton tagged the dirt, but Duran, I think, still slid into his glove before he hit the base. I'm calling it an out. I think that's an out. I think they're going to stick with the call on the field. Now 2-0 in the Giants and Padres, and still nothing. Angels, Reds, and you look above that, Rockies lead 5-1. I'm just going to click on that one and see if Ohtani gave up the other 2 runs. He did, in fact. And I know that I thought that said Kike Hernandez, because I'm like, no way the Dodgers are taking it this far where they're throwing position players out in the 5th inning. I got confused there for a second. But yeah, so Shohei, 4 innings pitched, 9 hits, 5 earned runs. That play was upheld in Kansas City. So the Royals get out of it with a pickoff from Sammy Long. They score here in the 8th. They can hand it over to Estevez with the lead. Okay, so as that one goes to commercial, let's go to Yankees-Rays. 10th inning, Rays tied it up on a double to right center field from the catcher, whose name I'm blanking on, but I'm going to look at the lineup and tell you right now. Fiducia, hitting 161 on the season, but came within a glove's length of hitting a walk-off home run. Was a double. That was good enough to tie it. Caminero scored from first to score that tying run. Giancarlo Stanton is up now with a full count. He's fouled off a slider that looks like it was a hanger on game day. I'll let you guys know. Yeah, that was a hanger. He actually swung so hard, his elbow guard fell off, and he just tossed it into the dugout. So that'll let you know what Stanton's trying to do. He's trying to hit that one back to his old stomping grounds, maybe in Miami. I don't even know if that's the right direction. I don't know anything about Florida. But they are in Tampa Bay. Maybe not. He's pinch hitting for McMahon, by the way, who's 0 for 3. And Stanton did just hit one way out. Liner off the wall that was only stopped by, or liner off the facing of something. And Fairbanks challenges him with a fastball. No matter how old Stanton is, he's not going to miss that pitch. Fairbanks, of course, very intense pitcher, upset with himself. 444th career home run for Stanton. Laser shot to left field. Gives the Yankees a 5-3 lead. Scores the Ghost/Manfred runner. And scores himself. So 5-3. Just jumped off the bat. And the Rays now trail 5-3 to the Yankees. So we'll keep you updated on that one. But for now, Royals and Rangers. 3-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Jonathan India has seen 4 strikes, 3 of the 4 pitches he's fouled off. I will let you guys know I am going to sign off here at the conclusion of the Royals and Rangers game. And right now it's 3-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Jonathan India is at the plate. A game I haven't checked on in a while is the Cubs and Brewers. And once this India at-bat plate appearance is concluded, I will check on that one. Because on my other screen, I still do have the Yankees and Rays up. Austin Wells is at the plate. So I got a 1-2 count. Just flailed that breaking ball in the dirt. 6 pitches. Armstrong has kept in the zone. Has kept 5 of those in the zone in the outside corner. And just struck India out swinging. Was close enough with that pitch. He did kind of have him in swing mode. But he had now 0 for 5 in his career against Armstrong. We'll get a Randall Grichuk at bat against a righty. He pinch hit for John Rave earlier in this game and flied out. Reds take a lead, score a run in the 3rd inning there. So it's 1-0 Cincinnati in Anaheim. There it goes, 4-2 in the top of the 9th between the Brewers and Cubs. I will go ahead and go to that game on my second screen, so I'll keep tabs on that one for you as I watch it live. I will not switch tabs as far as on my computer unless there's a runner on base in the Brewers and Cubs game. Palencia, we've got an 0-2 count on Siegler. Siegler in his last at-bat bunted the runner over. Palencia, I don't know if he's always like that, but that last pitch, he really likes holding the clock till it's down to 1 second. Missed way high with the fastball, by the way. 2-1 on Grichuk. He's got a hitter's count with Isbell and Yastrzemski, 2 left-handed hitting outfielders, warming up, or coming up. 2-2 now. Grichuk swings through a high. Again, I haven't seen that pitch yet because my screen or my live action is about 30 seconds behind, but I assume that high sweeper is not as vertically moving is not vertically moving as much as a curveball type pitch would. It's more like a flat cutter, and he does strike Grichuk out with a sinker. Called strike, justified, I would say. If ABS was around, I think they would hold that call up. So that's strike 3, 2 outs now. Grichuk strikes out looking. Yeah, as far as that sweeper goes, I just saw the pitch. It doesn't snap. It like cement mixes. Maybe that's on purpose. I don't think Armstrong's throwing it like that on accident, and because he's thrown almost all of them like that. Yeah, and that was a nice pitch. So we'll get a lefty to face the 2 lefties. Hobie Milner, the sidewinder, is going to come in, 3/4 release guy. The Brewers do exactly what, as they did have an out, but the Brewers do exactly what I thought they would do. We get a runner on base. Caleb Durbin is going to pinch hit for Blake Perkins. We shouldn't say I thought they were going to do, but I mean, at some point, they're like a team of destiny, right? So you assume even if they lose a game, it's going to be close. Looking to snap a 2-game, looking to avoid a 3-game losing streak after being swept in that doubleheader yesterday. 99.9 down the middle. So Durbin just wanted to see one, I guess, right? From Palencia, who has really come into his own as the Cubs closer. Been a big difference for this team taking over that closer role. Durbin, the rookie, grindy player, takes a high pitch, kind of leaned over the plate for that one. Looked like he thought it was close, and it was close. Look how close that was, but it's a ball. And then a slider that he fouls off. That looked like a good pitch to hit. Goes down the line there, down the third base line. Dropped it into the Cubs dugout. So Durbin up, pinch hitting for Perkins. He is the tying run at the plate. Cubs looking, now they're just 1 out away from winning this game as Durbin chases a slider in the dirt. So Danny Jansen's going to pinch hit, the catcher that the Brewers acquired at the trade deadline from the Blue Jays. Was he on the Blue Jays? I know he was on the Blue Jays in his career. No, the Rays were the last. I don't even have to look at that. He was on the Rays when they traded him, when he got traded. But of course, he's known for his time with the Blue Jays mostly. Jansen against Palencia. Cubs could cut the Brewers' lead in the Central to 6 games with a win here. Jansen takes a low breaking ball as the runner goes to second on defensive indifference. 204 average this season for Jansen. Let's see what he gets on a 1-0 pitch. Probably going to be challenged here if you're hitting 204. He is challenged. He races one down the line under the glove of the third baseman, and it's going to make it a 4-3 game. Jansen, is he pushing for second? He's not. He gets a single there, hits a line drive under the sliding glove of third baseman Matt Shaw, and makes it a 1-run game. Again, the Brewers always find a way to make something interesting. And Jansen will be pinch run for here. Not sure who's coming off the bench yet for the Brewers, but yeah, he jumped out in front of that pitch, gets it right over the bag. Shaw hits him, like, kind of just goes right through his glove. Yeah, went right through his glove, maybe a little bit under the webbing. Went to his right and then just slid forward and missed it. So now we're going to get Brandon Lockridge pinch running at first. We go to the Royals really quick. Kyle Isbell struck out looking. Let's take a look at what the pitch he struck out on. Yeah, Milner just carves him up with a sinker right down the middle. So Lockridge, better speed than Jansen. Probably not a steal base candidate here. Who knows? You don't want to make the last out trying to steal second base. Frelick has been solid all year. You see it right there. That's a strike, but call the ball. So 1-0 to Sal Frelick. Yeah, 99 right there. Oof. Cubs have a right to be frustrated with that one. That was not a strike. I mean, that was not a ball. That was a strike. Sal Frelick takes the next pitch inside. 2-0. Frelick is 1 for 4. Again, what's at stake here? Cubs can get within 6 games of first place and extend their lead in the first wild card over the Padres, or either keep pace or extend the lead. Padres are winning right now, 2-0 over the Giants. Yeah, 2-0 in the bottom of the third. Nice fastball in the inside corner. Frelick takes it. Palencia tries to pick off Lockridge over at first. 2-1 is the count. Bush had to kind of yank at that one. So 2-1. Collins is on deck. William Contreras is in the hole. Splitter missed high with it, so it's 3-1. Some tense moments at Wrigley Field. That was a ball. So Palencia has thrown some very good pitches. He's around the zone, and of course that first pitch makes all the difference sometimes. And that was a strike, but it was called a ball. And the runner steals second. Yep. Ooh, wow. Remember I said Lockridge? I didn't think he'd try to steal. He stole second on a fastball. Yeah, that's, of course, the hardest pitch to steal on is a fastball, maybe a high fastball. Even more so. But this one was right at the knees, and Craig Counsell's going to challenge against his old team. But when he called for the challenge, he was kind of like, might as well do it, kind of body language. Not in the way where he thought Lockridge is out. And the naked eye without a replay, the first look I had, he looked safe. And Marquee Sports Network, which is the home feed for this, has not shown a replay yet. Did not look like they threw him out. So we should get a full count pitch to Frelick. Yeah, I think Lockridge was safe. Looks like his left hand gets in there right before Dansby Swanson's glove tags him. They're slowing it down frame by frame. Yeah, I don't even think Swanson tags him. You heard it there first from the umpire. Hope you did. So the runner is safe. So we're going to full count pitch from Palencia. It'll be his 19th of the inning. And if you guys were wanting, I'm watching the Royals game on the other screen. It's 1-1 count. Sammy Long, 1 out. Sammy Long is pitching to Evan Carter. Frelick walks. Palencia overthrew that one way inside. So now Isaac Collins comes up to the plate with a chance to tie it with a single. A single to the outfield will tie the game, most likely. Cubs have good arms in the outfield, but Lockridge has some good speed. These are the type of late August games that you watch baseball for, right? Division battles, teams that know each other well, a 5-game series because of weather this week and also earlier in the season. Sammy Long just got a second out on a 1-3 put out there. So 2 outs in the Royals game. That first pitch is a swinging strike from Isaac Collins out in front, nods his head on the swinging out strike on the slider. Like he's like, okay, I got a gauge of that one. Takes the fastball in. So Palencia, now we can say, is kind of overthrowing that. That looked very similar to the pitch he threw ball 4 on to Sal Frelick. Just pulls it off to the left, to his left. Another one inside. So he's not confident in that fastball. If I'm a Brewer right now, if I'm a Brewer, if I'm Isaac Collins, I would sit on something off speed to be a strike. I don't trust Palencia to throw a fastball for a strike. So sit on off speed if you're Collins. Again, look at that, missing way inside with the fastball. 3-1. Collins. Almost actually, now that I see the pitch, gets brushed off and had to fall. He fell, brushed off on the plate there. So, buzzed his tower, as they would say. Palencia kind of just takes his hat off, trying to calm himself down, fiddles with his pitch calm. 3-2, and he does throw that slider. Swinging through it is Collins. Now what do you throw? Full count, runners will be going. Collins, I don't know why he had a fastball swing on that. We just talked about how he's not throwing fastballs for strikes. Just threw one at you, threw 2 at you, 1 at your head. So full count. Does Collins get on base, tie the game, or does Palencia win it? Let's see. What's going to come up first? Game day? Oh my gosh, slider, not even close. Whoa. That was barely in the game day box there. So now the bases will be loaded for William Contreras, who's 0 for 4 tonight. Valencia looks a little bit overhyped. I don't think the Cubs have used a mound visit this inning. Oh, there it goes right there on your left. Beat me to it there, game day. So as we're watching this mound visit happen, the Royals walked a runner. So there's a runner on first with 2 outs. Corey Seager's up. Lefty on lefty for Sam Long. Seager, of course, one of the best hitters of his generation when healthy as well. Health has been a big factor in his career. Back to the Brewers. But when he's healthy, he's freaking awesome. Carried the Dodgers in that 2020 World Series and was a huge part of the Rangers winning the World Series in 2023 as well. Back to the Brewers and Cubs, though. Palencia, whatever was told to him on the mound visit worked because that first pitch is right there. Not yanking the fastball this time. But if you're Contreras, you have to take that if you saw the fastballs that he was throwing to the guy in front of you. Oh, weird play in the Royals game. I'll get to that later. Run doesn't score, but runner gets on base. The next pitch to Contreras, another fastball. Pretty much in the same quadrant of the strike zone. And now 2 perfectly placed fastballs has the Brewers on the ropes once again, staring a 3rd straight loss down, and Contreras lines out to Nico Horner. So he protects the plate on a high fastball. And Horner snow coned it. And I got a chance to look at it. Palencia is juiced. And what a catch. Horner gets that catch by Horner and the save by Palencia, more importantly, gets the Cubs to within 6 games of the Brewers. 3 straight wins. You see it come up there. And as we go back to the Royals and Rangers, so let's put a ball on it there. Cubs win. Brewers rally, get the bases loaded. Contreras lines out to second. Snow cone catch. Palencia juiced. Cubs just 6 out now after being 9 out yesterday afternoon before doubleheader. They've won 3 in a row against the Brewers, and they get a chance to make it 4 in a row tomorrow afternoon at Wrigley. So the Royals and Rangers, the Rangers have been dinking balls around 6-3 now in the bottom of the 10th, by the way, in that Yankee. Devin Williams on the mound, though. We know that story's been kind of wild this year for the Yankees. Bases are loaded for Higashioka.
The gains are pumping.
Dad, is Mommy a finance bro?
She switched careers to make money for your weddings.
Ooh, the Asian market is blowing up. Hey, who wants shots, huh?
Shots?
Of milk.
The right money moves aren't as aggressive as you think.
On this trip, the 2-1. And that one is lined out to right field. That's a base hit. It ties the game. Heim scores easily. Langford stops at second. And Seager makes it a new game in the 7th inning.
What happens here, huh? Splitter down the middle on a 2-1 count. So I don't have the luxury of seeing it as it happens because my live TV is lagging, and it's a double down the line as you see in the left there. All the wheels in motion. It's going to be a 3-run double down the left field line for Higashioka on a splitter. Sam Long just did not have it tonight. But what's frustrating for him is the last 2 guys that hit the ball before that double, past Garcia, who is playing on the outfield grass, were probably exit velocity of they call that an error on Pasquantino that bounced off Pasquantino and then bounced off Sammy Long. So the error is huge, and then a soft ground ball, 38-mile-an-hour hit by Seager, or by Simeon, and a 73-mile-an-hour hit by Seager. That ended up being an error. So the error and the infield single are huge roles in that bases clearing double. Royals now trail 6-3. Close a few tabs here. But I wanted to show, because I haven't seen it myself yet, another single there as I'm watching the Royals and Rangers. The run doesn't score, so hit shallow enough to where it wasn't a run scoring single. Apparently there was a nice home run robbery in this game, and I want to see it. It was Fernando Tatis. It was an insane home run robbery, according to MLB.
High drive, right field, back to.
Cannot buy a break lately. Just kidding. I mean, he's doing better, but people are bashing him because the Giants have gotten a lot worse, and the Red Sox are a playoff team right now.
High drive, right field. Back goes Fernando at the wall. He leaps in, makes the catch. Onando up into the air, makes the catch at the wall.
That's platinum right there, folks. Picture perfect. Snatch it back. That's big league, and that's a big league hanging with him from Devers.
He's like, "Are you kidding me?"
High drive, right field. Tatis back. It is caught.
How about that? Literally takes one away from Devers.
Hey, gets a sweeper, stays back. Tatis tracks it, gives it a good leap, and
trail 3-0 with basically no playoff hopes. There's an injury delay. Let's see what that injury is. Gavin Sheets already has a home run tonight. Who got hurt? Because now it's in break. I'm catching up on MLB TV. I can't show you guys. Oh, okay. So that's what. Oh, okay. Oh, now I'm sorry, guys. I'm rewinding. Landon Roop has been a very good pitcher for the Giants this season in his second season. Just came off the IL. This is the second game off the injured list. I just rewound it. Roop got a comebacker of sorts off Laureano, and I think it hit his hand, or no, his knee, a line drive off the knee, and he Charlie horsed him pretty bad. I don't know where it hit him in his knee, but he had to be carted off the field because as I was rewinding it, I saw him get carted off. Let's listen in real quick on what the Giants announcer said about this. This happened about 3 minutes ago. Still kind of hard to tell where it hit him. Laureano, by the way, is the one who hit this ball. Ooh, right off the inside of groin. It's like right off the butt cheek. But I don't think that's what hurt him.
Not the actual ball. No. He was pushing to go get that ball. Go field it. You see the knee kind of buckle a little bit. Oh, man, we're asking for the cart. You saw Dave Greshner asked for the golf cart.
So you heard Javier Lopez there. It was a scenario where it's come back or off the butt, and he was trying to get out of the way, and his knee. So his cart.
ACL is what you're thinking about.
Mark again has been a very good pitcher this season. He gave up 2 home runs tonight in his second start off the injury. But he's been a godsend for the Giants this year.
Ball hits. That's the left leg.
Been roughed up a little bit tonight, but his ERA was below 3.5 entering this game. Anyway, yeah, Landon Roop carted off the field. Let's see if we can get a quick highlight on it from X. Giants already having the worst second half of any team. Yeah, here's a look at it from John Silva Jr. on X. So there, the ball hitting him is not what hurt him. See that hit him in like the left groin? But watch his knee. Watch his knee right there. Ooh, like his ankle. See where my mouse is? His ankle kind of buckles and his knee too. I don't know if it's his ankle, knee thing. But yeah, he's carted off. That's it from center field there. Landon Roop, again, Giants, number 3 starter this year behind 2 All-Stars, Logan Ray.
So he was able to stand to get into the seat portion of it.
Is going to come in. As you look at this tweet from Alex Pavlovich, Landon Roop went down hard after taking a line drive off his right leg. I think that was his left. I don't know, Alex. Love you, Pavs. Maybe I saw it wrong, though. They brought out a cart to get him off the field, although hopefully that was just because there's a lot of stairs in the visiting dugout. Scary moment for the young right-hander. Maybe that's true. Maybe Dave Greshner, the Giants trainer, knows Petco Park. He does know very well. He's been Giants trainer for a long time, visiting clubhouse, visiting dugout scenario there. But yeah, Roop was carted off the field. And now Lucchese's in. I guess probably given as much time as he needs to warm up, and he's still warming up. We had all that time to rewind, catch you guys up on what happened. Roop gets carted off the field, and there still has not been a pitch thrown since then. Lucchese's warming up. He was a starter for the Padres earlier in his career, made his debut with the Padres. All that stuff. Back to the Royals, though. Yaz, what did he miss? It was 6-3 Rangers. It's 6-3 Rangers. Royals are now down to their last 2 outs. Yaz grounded out on the first one. But you know what? That's why I should have kept it on Yankees Rays, because Devin Williams is in the midst of making another game interesting. So I will flip that one over to my other screen because it's 6-4 with 2 outs now. Yandy Diaz just struck out on a fastball down the middle. So Devin Williams is 1 out away from securing a Yankees win, but he'll have to go through Brandon Lau, I believe, right? Yeah, Brandon Lau. But there is an open base at first. He did get Diaz with a FU fastball right there. It was, or maybe the here damn fastball, because it was right down the middle. Diaz looks a little frustrated in the dugout. Now Lau, Brandon Lau, can he come up clutch and deliver as we look at the first pitch, fouled off. Deliver a second straight 2-out game-tying hit for the Rays, because they did it in the 9th inning with 2 outs. Can they do it again here in the 10th? Bobby Witt Jr. still up for the Royals. 1-2 count with 1 out and nobody on base in a 6-3 game there. Ooh, there's the signature changeup from Williams. Had Lau way out in front. It's such a good pitch. Lau calls for timeout with 2 strikes. Yeah, that changeup. That's why they called Devin Williams the airbender. The slow-mo replay of that was nasty. If he throws that again, there's no chance Lau hits it. Ray's got the rally caps going in the dugout. He does throw it again, and I was wrong. Lau lays off. Pretty much the same pitch. Bobby Witt Jr. up the middle, does not beat out the throw. Simeon was cheating that way. I don't know how shifts work anymore, because I thought baseball was banning the shift, but that looked like he was over second base. And Lau strikes out. He does chase that changeup. So he laid off it once after embarrassing himself, and then he swings at it again in the dirt, and that's it. Williams makes it interesting, as he has most of the season, and it's blown his fair share, but he gets out of it here. 6-4 Yankees. They keep pace as the #1 team in the wild card of the American League. And let's check in on a game. Well, actually, before we check in on the Angels and Reds and Angels, check in on the A's and Twins. The A's took a 4-2 lead in the 10th inning. Of course, this game has not much of an indicator in the playoff race. The Royals just lost at home. Pasquantino grounds out up the middle. Higashioka, a bases clearing double, wins it for the Rangers. So I said I would sign off on the Royals lost, or Royals game ended and it looked like it was going to be a loss right after that 6-3 that 3-run top of the 9th. But you know what? I'll stay on for a little bit longer, as it's now 6-0 Padres. Gavin Sheets hit his second home run of the game. Off Lucchesi. He had plenty of time to get some intel off Lucchesi, and he hits a 3-run bomb. Sheets has 4 runs batted in, and it's 6-0 Padres. Giants are just going to fall further in the standings, and the Padres are going to elevate themselves. Anyway, back to the A's and Twins. Shea Langoliers, who I will have full disclosure, I drafted in my fantasy team. He got hurt on my fantasy team. He got hurt, and I dropped him, and I never added him again. But my goodness, he has 28 home runs this year. The A's are, at the very least, if they aren't good, they're going to have some mashers. In this case, with the A's
Hey,
franchise,
Patty. I noticed you seem to fix things around here before they even break.
No big secret, just 3 magic words. The ServiceNow AI platform.
Oh, it's like an AI A-team.
Abracadabra.
Have some hitters on the team, starting with Kurtz, then you go to Wilson, then you go to Soderstrom, then you go to did I even mention Ripper?
Here's the pitch. Lifted out to right. Going deep, and Langoliers has the lead for the A's. Speaking of homers, right on cue, a 2-run shot, and it is 4-2 green and gold.
Well, and that swing from Shea Langoliers is going to send Twins fans headed for the exits.
Of the season. See, he was on the IL from June 6th to June 30th, so he missed about 3.5 weeks. So
Here's the pitch in the air to right field. J.J. Bleday calling.
The A's ahead there, and they're looking to close it out with Ferguson. But before I sign off, I just wanted to give you guys an update on the Reds and Angels. And you guys can obviously follow this at any time. I'm just giving you commentary. Hope you guys support just a little bit. The more you support, the more I can do stuff like this. The more I can make videos too, not just live streams. The Reds and Angels are in a nice tight game in Orange County, 1-1 in the fifth inning, bottom of the fifth. Nick Martinez against Teodosio right now. Teodosio. This is the important development for the rest of the games tonight. Pretty much Dodgers and Padres. Right? Other than, I'll get to the game we're looking at right now, Reds and Angels, why this is important. But the Dodgers and Padres, if the scores hold, they're blowouts pretty much in both games. Giants are down 6-0 to the Padres, and the Rockies are beating the Dodgers. After getting swept in LA, the Padres can still, let's see what they're saying. The Padres can still hold, even I think, right, or be one game behind the Dodgers with a win tonight. Yeah, a win and a Dodgers loss, which both look likely, and the Padres are just a game behind the Dodgers once again, heading into tomorrow's schedule. I don't think the Dodgers play tomorrow. They do. So, after sweeping the Padres, the Dodgers will be maybe one game ahead of them heading into tomorrow, and then they play each other again this weekend, this time in San Diego. The other big development is a Reds win tonight gets them wild card. Not for the rest of the season, but it gets them tied for the third wild card with the New York Mets, as they're just half a game behind the Mets right now. The Mets lost tonight 5-4 to the Nationals. So there you have it, guys. That's me for the night. I'm signing off. Enjoy some West Coast baseball if you want to. So those are the games we have left. The A's just 1 out away from securing another win. They're one of the hotter teams in baseball. The Rockies 3 outs away from beating the Dodgers. Reds and Angels probably the best game left of the three that have, or of the two, going to be in about, unless there's a comeback from the Twins or the Dodgers, in about 10 minutes there's only going to be 2 games on. It's going to be a blowout in San Diego or the Angels and Reds. So yeah, that's me signing off for the night. There's one more look at the final scores from today. You had the Pirates beating the Blue Jays, the Phillies beating the Mariners. That was a sweep. The Tigers sweeping the Astros. The Diamondbacks taking 2 out of 3 from the Guardians. The Marlins avoiding the sweep. The Nationals beating the Mets. I think the road match will be tomorrow. They didn't play Monday. Braves beat the White Sox. The rookie Waldrop has been good. Good starting pitcher so far for the Braves. Yankees beating the Rays 6-4. Royals, tough 9th inning for them. Lose to the Rangers 6-3. 3-run double. As you see, that one just went final. The A's do beat the Twins. And then the Brewers, late rally falls short. Bases loaded line out from Contreras. So a nice inning, or a nice night in Major League Baseball. Some tough games, tough divisional games. Yankees and Rays, that was a good one. Cubs and Brewers was a good one. Nationals and Mets was a good one. And then earlier the games that we weren't watching live, though, those were good ones too. Especially the Diamondbacks and Guardians. So yeah, there you have it. We sign off with an 8-1 Rockies lead, a tie game in Orange County, and the Giants free falling some more, down 6-0. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.